What is up, guys? Welcome to Under the Gazebo. I'm your host, Senator. I have my co-hosts, Garrett and Caleb. Introduce yourselves, guys.
I'm Garrett.
I'm Caleb.
And welcome back to the second episode of Under the Gazebo. We did our pilot episode a few days ago. I enjoyed it. I feel like you guys enjoyed it, right? You had a good time doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're like, you know what?
Got a lot off my chest.
Yeah. And I was like, that was fun. Let's just do that again. So that's what we're doing. We did plan on doing this every week, and I assume that we will have at least one episode every week. So this is sort of like a bonus episode because we planned on doing it once a week, and we are not doing that. But anyways, on that last episode, the audio was pretty scuffed. We're trying to fix that with this episode. We're doing some new software, trying to make it better, so Garrett over here doesn't sound like a demon throughout of it, and Caleb isn't always hitting his mic. So
sorry, I'm not going to heaven, man. Shit.
Hey, I got problems.
So here we are. The date is, what is it? We're in August still, August 25th, and everyone's going back to school. And the first day back to school, Zoom shut down from everyone trying to get back online. Which
should have used Discord. Lol.
They should have used Discord. I don't know why they don't.
Discord is king.
Honestly.
Because I'd be watching the kid playing. I'd rather watch a kid play League of Legends than fucking teacher.
Obviously.
And I hate League of Legends.
And the weird thing about this whole
nerd,
the COVID going back to school thing, whether or not you think it's too early or too late, it's not going to go well, regardless of what you think. Major League Baseball can't even go a week without any of their players testing positive, and they're doing everything they can.
I heard today that about like at Auburn University.
Yeah, I was about to go into that.
There were like 500 students that tested positive, and 30 were on like the football team.
I don't doubt it from all that the gay stuff in the locker room. They probably do.
I think it was the football team. There were 30 of them that tested positive, but 500 altogether at Auburn.
530 was at Alabama, and it was like 250 at Auburn. So I mean,
Alabama
sucks at keeping healthy, which yeah, they suck at most things. But anyway,
we've got a really good topic that we can talk about actually that relates to the virus.
The virus? What is
the
that?
Virus?
Coronavirus.
Yeah, we can just talk about our time in quarantine, I think. And just how it's been going. And
well, it's weird we're doing it this late into the pandemic, but I mean, nothing has really changed.
No, it hadn't.
Because, as you know, we are gamers. We do nothing, basically.
Yeah.
We when we're not working or schooling, we're on Twitch and YouTube and Discord.
Yeah. I haven't showered in 7 days. That's my usual routine.
That's a problem, Garrett.
Because I'm a gamer.
Everything progressed when I was working.
Yeah.
Like you can see people start changing over time. You got these old people coming in, coughing everywhere, and everybody starts.
Oh my God!
Everybody starts running around. Oh, get the Lysol. Well, I was working back in the warehouse, and there was people come back there to grab tires and whatnot, and they'd always ask me where my mask was. I'm like, well, there's a whole warehouse full of tires that came from China. I'm gonna get the coronavirus.
That's a good point. No!
Either way, I'm gonna get the coronavirus. So you're back here too. You're gonna get it. You know what I mean? Like we just get fresh shipments, and I'm like, I know they came off the ships. Those ships are tainted with coronavirus, so I wasn't worried about it. My boss would go back there and get on to me, threaten to fire me for not wearing my mask. I'm like, dude, it's my choice. But then it started getting crazy. Old people started wanting to sue us because we didn't wear a mask, and corporate started shutting down. People were getting laid off. Nothing was going good.
I have a very unpopular opinion when it comes to masks. Do I think masks work? Probably. There's probably some truth that it would make sense.
Not these custom ones. I mean, like you could see, like when you're breathing out. Say if you have say water, you spit water through that little homemade mask. They just go straight through it.
Well, I feel like it won't hurt.
Germ?
It won't hurt.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the problem
it's not gonna hurt you.
The problem I have with the whole mask thing is I don't like it. I think it's just messed up that people bully people, or like towards the beginning of the pandemic, or actually in the middle of the pandemic, like back in June. You could probably even call that the beginning, considering this is August and we're still in it. with like the New York governor having a tip line for your neighbors that aren't wearing their masks.
Yeah.
Like, if everyone's saying that masks work, which I believe they do to some extent,
then why haven't the cases gone down?
Yeah, because they just keep getting worse. I mean,
because they count, if you die by getting hit by a bus, they count that as a COVID death for some reason.
That is true.
My grandpa died of Parkinson's-related causes, and they claimed him as a COVID death. Shit. He had COVID like 4 weeks earlier, but he was COVID-free whenever he died. But they wanted to claim that as a COVID death so that they could. It's really messed up. So he's.
I heard about that. How much money did you get from it?
I don't know.
Per person.
I'm not sure what they get, but like, back to what I was trying to say about the masks. Like, if they work, then why does it bother you that I'm not wearing a mask when you can just wear a mask? Like, I know we all need to like wear a mask to just protect each other, and that's what we should do as good people. But like, when you have people bullying each other over it, or a government fining people for not wearing them, like, if they work and you wear them, then you have nothing to worry about. You're not going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's kind of like a nihilist opinion, very, very dark. Like,
what makes me aggravated about the masks stuff is that at the beginning of the outbreak, now I don't know any names or institutions that conducted this research. They had researched the effectiveness of masks, and they said, look, you only have to wear one if you feel sick, because if you're not sick, the air that somebody else that is probably sick, like the guy sitting beside you, he coughs, that air may slip around the edges, and looky there, you're breathing the sick guy's air all day because it's in the mask. And now it's just like we've thrown that science out of the window, and you ask about that study, and they can be like, "Oh, what study? You wear it."
Like they've changed their opinion so much about this thing.
We've never thrown science out of the window, and that's what bothers me. Why would you throw good research out of the window?
I looked up the cost, and apparently, if a COVID patient gets on the ventilator, the hospital gets $39,000.
Jesus, Murphy,
for one person.
Oh my Lord!
I don't know how true that is. You know, it's the internet.
Where'd you get that from?
That's still a lot of money.
Reddit.
Oh, well, let me go back. No.
Reddit.
No, it's
r/I'm a doctor.
No, it was from USA Today.
Oh wow.
They were the ones that said you could have a chainsaw bayonet.
Yeah.
Gears of War.
Wish.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like USA Today out here thinking people own Lancers under the Second Amendment.
The media is awful. Can we all agree? Regardless of your political affiliation,
that needs to be a topic. Yeah, though. I don't want to spin it off onto the media.
It's a free country. That's why
that could be a whole topic for itself. But
yeah, it could.
Like when you look at news broadcasts from like the 70s versus what they are today, like today it doesn't even look like the news. Like they're all political ideologues just throwing their opinion down your throat.
If you don't like their opinion, they sit there and make fun.
I'm laughing because Garrett's typing in the group chat, the liberal news media.
The liberal news media.
But like regardless of your political affiliation, whether you're conservative, liberal, libertarian, Democrat, Republican, regardless, the media is like so divisive and just trying to shove their opinion down their throat.
Yeah, we're not dissing any parties here. We're just talking about how the media is not on neutral ground anymore. They take a stance and stand by it, and then they want to say, "Hey, look at this. Ain't I right? Am I right? I think I'm right."
Whereas you can look like back in the 70s when they would just give you the facts, and then you had to make an opinion. They'd bring on a few people to debate.
They just told you the story and what people said, and they were like, "Think about that." It was like a critical thinking class.
Like, you can look now, and then like at 7:00 on Fox News, they're gonna have Tucker Carlson, and I'm not attacking his stances or anything, but like he'll just tell you all about how the Republican Party is great, Democrat Party is bad, and then you look at CNN, they're doing the same thing but reversed. They're not giving you news; they're just shoving their opinions down your throat and trying to persuade you to think a certain way. Whereas, looking back in the 70s again. It was more of think for yourself. Here's the facts. to do all the thinking yourself. And so it's kind of
times are simple. Back
yeah.
Yeah. Easton, I hate to get you off course here, but I think we're a little off topic. I just don't want to, because I want to save this kind of stuff for the other topics. We've got 30 topics on a list.
Yeah, we have a Google Docs open of different topics that we can explore as we do these podcasts, and we just came up with these 30 like in a span of an hour. Like we got cripples on there, we got the election, we got Jeffrey Epstein, the Bible, could Hitler win, that kind of stuff, the drug war. And many, many more coming your way. Caleb's dead girlfriend.
Hey, we'll save that for like a season.
I don't know. How did we get?
Can we get 50 subs and we'll talk about Caleb's dead girlfriend? All right. I had suggested this idea a couple days ago. I thought it was really interesting of how close we probably are to becoming in the world, like getting into the world of Ready Player One.
Okay. Before we go any further, let's explain for people who may not know what Ready Player One is. Can you tell them what that is in case for some reason they haven't seen that iconic Steven Spielberg movie?
Okay, if you haven't seen Ready Player One, number one, what the fuck are you doing with your life? And number two, go sit your ass on a couch and watch.
Amen.
But for real this time, Ready Player One is a novel. And it's been adapted into a movie. What year was it?
Like 2016. 2016.
Yeah.
I remember I went with my mommy to watch it. We went on a date.
But
how cute.
It was a novel that was adapted into a movie, and it's basically the world lives in virtual reality, sort of. Like, the world is like, the outside world just looks like it's in shambles, but everyone goes home and gets in their fancy haptic feedback suits, and they stand on the automated treadmills, and they put on the headset and the controller gloves, and then they go to the game, I guess.
So,
I don't remember what
like
they call
Spy
it.
Kids 3, Game Over. That's the vibe I'm getting. Because everyone's seen that movie.
Something like
Even
Spy
if you
Kids
haven't
3.
seen Ready Player One, you've probably seen Spy Kids 3. Epic movie. But continue.
Yeah. It's something like Spy Kids 3, except the guy.
The guy who
the guy does not make an appearance.
Wasn't that
I don't know. I'm the guy.
Rocky. What's his the Italian stallion?
For this.
What's his name? I can't remember his name. Sylvester Stallone.
That was my uncle.
He was in that movie.
It was not Sylvester Stallone played 5 different people.
See. Sylvester Stallone, Spy Kids 3.
We're going to cut this out, and then we're just going to
No, I'm not cutting this out.
Again. God damn it.
he played 5 people.
Here.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. Okay. But I was sitting here telling the boys, I said, y'all have to realize how close we are to Ready Player One. I'm the owner of an Oculus Rift S, a platform that was kind of frowned upon when it was first released by some, but it's really good overall. Highly recommend if you're wanting to get started. But we have the controllers, we have the headsets, we have full body tracking. We have haptic feedback suits and prototypes for those fancy little treadmills. I don't know what they're called, so I'm going to call them fancy treadmills.
Those ones where you're stationary and you're sitting there running.
Yes, you stand in the middle of a treadmill. When you start walking, it starts moving underneath you.
Help all the gamer fat and the sitting all day.
It helps.
They said the same thing about the Wii.
Like
you're gonna be up off the couch playing tennis.
Well,
no,
listen,
the Wii. Me bowling on the couch.
Yeah, 90% of their games could be done sitting down as well. So
yeah.
You can play H3 sitting down,
but you could, but
because you just use your arms. But
where's the fun in that?
Where's the fun in playing tennis sitting down and Wii? People do it though.
Where's the fun of getting into a gunfight in VR while you're sitting in a chair?
That is true. Or a sword fight.
Because there's no ducking, there's no getting behind cover, spinning around. There's no 360 no scopes. if you don't tangle yourself in your cord.
Do they have wireless yet?
Anyway, I digress. Yes, that is the Oculus Quest. It is the same price as the Oculus Rift S, and now they've developed the Oculus Link.
Ooh.
So if you want to, if you have a PC, you can buy the Quest, which is the wireless one, then buy the Link cable. So then you can play PC games on the Quest, or you can play it wireless.
Do they have it to where... I may not have been paying attention to that entire thing, but we're about to find out. Do they have it to where you can use the wireless Quest and like use like one of them HDMI wireless and like put one HDMI port in your PC and then put the other port in the headset? So, but no, then it's not wireless anymore. If there's a cable.
Yeah, but I mean that's an option. You can buy the Quest and you can play it either way.
Okay. But
you use the Link cable to play games that you would normally not been able to play. See, when it came out, they came out in two. They sold them. They launched them both at the same time. They launched the Rift S and they launched the Quest. The Rift S would run everything, but because it was hardwired to your computer, there's a cord that goes into your graphics card, and there's a USB port that goes into your computer, and that's what powers it. The Quest was standalone. You had, I think, one model was $100 cheaper, but that was because it had less storage space. I think they had like a 32 and a 64 gig.
And can't you only like play the Oculus games? Like only like you're.
That's what I was getting to.
Oh, okay.
If on the Rift S you can play any VR game imaginable that's available online. If you bought the Quest, you could only buy stuff that was on the Oculus
that's why I didn't want to get a
store.
Quest because I wanted to be able to play PC games, but it wouldn't let you do that. It only let you do those Quest games.
Yes, it would not. It wouldn't let you play. So, like, if I bought the Quest and I bought Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades, a game I touched on just a little bit in the last podcast, I would not be able to play it because it's not sold by Oculus or it's not on the Oculus store. What this Link cable does, I believe, is allows you to play games on the headset, like any game now. I'm pretty sure.
So,
who knows?
But getting back to the Ready Player One stuff, it's just like the technology's all here, but it's not to that level.
And
of
it's a matter of
yet.
Being able to create a product similar to Ready Player One in terms of graphics and hardware, and making that affordable. Because remember when VR came out, nobody could afford it. It was $1,000 for a decent headset.
I remember when the Vive first came out. I was in, and I got to demo a Oculus Vive, or not an Oculus Vive, a Vive, an HTC Vive. I'll get the name right one of these go-arounds.
It's all good.
At a Microsoft store in a mall, a big mall, and I got out of it, and I thought that was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And I started doing research on it. And at the time, I was in high school at the time, maybe sophomore. I don't really remember, but nonetheless, I just recoiled when the price of an HTC Vive was $800 to $900, and I thought,
isn't that one
really,
not even the best one?
And then you've got a good. That was the very first Vive that was ever put out. When it first came out, it was about $800 or $900.
Now they're $1,500.
Yeah, because they keep. And I don't know. That could be a whole other topic. Fucking marketing strategies.
They also have full body tracking built into it as well.
We started out with that $800 price tag, and now you can get an Oculus with.
And now you can get it for $400.
Built-in motion tracking to where you don't have to put cameras in your room.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's the other thing. Just about like every other VR headset has two motion capture devices that you have to mount onto your wall or put somewhere in your room. You can set it on a desk or a shelf if they're high enough. But I think that would be best if you mounted them high so it would catch you from just about any angle. Now, if you're living in an apartment like I am, that's going to be a little bit of a pain because some apartments aren't as lenient.
Drilling
on,
holes in the walls.
Hanging things. Yeah. But when Oculus released the Rift S, it has onboard tracking. So this means there are, let me see, 5 cameras on the front of the headset that track the rings on the controllers. So if you've got enough light in the room, it will track wherever those controllers go. And at first I thought, that's really cool, but what happens when you put your hands behind your back? It's got an algorithm or a calculating system, I don't know, that predicts just how you're going to move your hand behind your back. Like if you just swing your hand behind your back, that controller will follow and never lose tracking because it's going to predict, he's just swinging. So, yeah. Now if I just put both my hands behind my back and leave them there, it's going to lose it. Because it's like,
I can't see his hands.
And he's like, oh God, I can't see his hands. What's he gonna do?
Whips out a knife.
Like a fucking magician. And, but yeah, I think it's really interesting how far we've come, and also it's kind of scary.
It's gone from that 900 to it's cut in half in 6 years maybe. A matter of 6 years, it's cut in half that much, and it's improved so much. Because I imagine whenever you try out the Vive for the first time when it was $900, I imagine it wasn't anything like what you have now when it comes to Half-Life Alyx and that Robo Recall game that I love.
I played. There was 4 things I did in the Microsoft Store. One of them was I just stood underwater and various fish swam by, kind of like a scuba experience, which was really neat. And there was one where the dude told me, he was like, okay, pull the trigger, and a balloon came out of the controller. And he was like, try to make a bunch of balloons for me, see if you can fill the floor with them. And I accidentally smacked the controllers together because I had this method of I held the trigger down and just knocked the top one off. And then I lost tracking on my hand, in the real world hand, and I just thwap, and I hit him, and I was like, uh-oh. I was like, I just fucking bought a Vive, didn't I? But there was that, and then there was a drawing one where you could draw all around you, you could draw a circle around you if you wanted to. Some really neat stuff. And then they put me in Space Pirate Trainer, and that's what's really sold me. It's like a 3D version of Galaga, and that is my game. Fun fact about me, I am a massive fan of Galaga, and I'm not even a boomer.
Wow.
I was born in 99, but I love Galaga.
I need to add something on that Ready Player One topic.
Go ahead.
About the server issue, saying how they all connect to the same, what is it, like a database? What do they connect to? What is it called?
It'd be servers.
Servers, yeah, that's what I thought.
I was about to say it'd be some kind of server.
Do we have that kind of technology that and to handle all those people
I would
on there
assume
at once, to have it where it doesn't glitch or anything?
Well, here's the thing. Where it goes even deeper, it goes past the technology, and it goes into software we have. We have the tracking software, sure.
Yeah.
But we also have the game technology, almost, to be like Ready Player One. Because what's the game that we've all played here in this group where you go into rooms and then you chat with people
VR chat
that have avatars? VR chat.
The best game.
Is that by Valve?
Yeah, and
who has that?
No, it's by.
You don't even know it, and they have the infrastructure to have those lobbies. So I don't think it's a technological server problem. I think they could do that.
I wouldn't think that's a hard issue.
It's just inputs.
Because
it's just input. It's not really no different.
Yeah. You have to have the computing power, I would imagine, to hold just a certain amount of people. Now, the thing is, if anyone in here that is listening at the moment, if you're still listening at this point, has played VR chat, yes, thank you also. If anyone has ever played VR chat, you get the occasional guy that likes to turn your screen red and make it shake like you're having epilepsy
crashing the game
during fucking Haitian earthquakes. But I think that's where things would really just start to die out. Like you could probably do that, but then you get that one guy in there and it's game over.
You probably have like a really, really, really strong VR system. Something that you can't just.
No, I think it would just be whatever server the computer or whatever computer that was running the server has to be extremely good to hold a bunch of people. So that is the deal. Your end doesn't have to be that good, but theirs does. The host does.
See, what would connect to the host? Would it just be off of like a worldwide?
I don't think much would change, honestly. It's just data as always. No, it'd be no different than a desktop game.
Yeah, I don't like. It's if anything, if we go any further, it's branching off what we've got already, and we're already so close.
The thing that's hurting VR the most right now is that it's still so niche. Like, once that VR, whenever you can buy the Oculus for $200, at that point, we're gonna see VR explode. It's gonna explode because right now the biggest reason as to why VR is great, but we never have anything amazing coming out in VR. The biggest thing to ever come out in VR is probably Half-Life Alyx. Other than that, you can't really name any amazing AAA style VR games, right? Because
Half-Life,
here's the thing. Walking Dead game's pretty cool.
Yeah, Walking Dead did make a game, but other than those two, you don't really see AAA companies making VR titles.
Because there's no games coming out for them, big games like that, and you only see indie developers doing this because it's such a big risk, because not everybody has a $400 VR headset.
And that's a very good observation. When Half-Life Alyx was announced to be a VR game, the Half-Life fan base, a lot of them that didn't have VR sets were livid because they're like, I want to continue the story, but I don't want to buy a $1,000 or Vive Index, because they were trying to sell it like the Index with the full finger tracking. They said you'd get the best experience with that, and I mean, I don't blame them. I'd make the game. I'd try to sell the headset with it, but I mean, shit, $1,000 when you've got $400 and it does just as good. I think the only thing really that's different between the Vive and my headset, which is an Oculus Rift S, the resolution is higher, which reduces what we call the screen door effect, which is where you can see in between the pixels on the monitor.
But honestly, that's not even a big deal. Yeah.
I mean, I would rather pay $400.
No doubt. But
But I mean, even on my headset, I've only noticed the screen door effect once, and I bought this thing last year. I've only ever noticed it once, and I literally sat there and thought, I wonder if I can see between the pixels, and I sat there and stared and stared and stared.
What I'm about to say, I said that like I'm about to make a profound statement, but how much VR is going to advance in the next 10 years, in my opinion, is going to hinder a lot on the new console releases and the VR that comes out of those. If they can make an adequate VR headset that can run on the PS5 and whatever the new Xbox is, then we're going to get to a point where we're going to see a lot more VR games because people can afford the systems, they can afford the headsets, all that good jazz. So it does, but it's
PlayStation does
nothing like Oculus.
Yeah, the PlayStation one.
Yeah, it could be.
The PlayStation one is neat, but again, you have to sit down for the entire experience.
It would just be great if
that body tracking stuff.
PlayStation, Microsoft would allow third-party, what's it called? Devices.
Companies.
You could have Oculus on your PlayStation playing No Man's Sky on PS4 with that.
Well, here's the thing, and I've considered this before. Everyone remembers the Kinect. Everyone remembers that.
Yeah, or the Xbox Kinect. Or the iToy from PlayStation.
Yeah.
They both had
I was about to say, do you guys know about that?
Yeah.
That was kind of like a blend
of
the
they were just trying to copy the Wii. This all stemmed from the Wii.
Yeah. Okay, well, here's the thing. If they could refine that technology and bring it back, They could sell a VR PlayStation.
Yeah, because the Kinect had the
they could have like a Kinect setup where it tracks the controllers, and then you wear the headset. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard for them to do. They've already piddled with the technology. It's just a matter of refinement.
Because they had those. What are those little beads called? Like the lasers. What are those called?
What do you mean? Lasers.
Like, all right, when you turn on like infrared, you can see the lasers coming out of the Kinect.
Oh yeah, the infrared tracking.
Okay, yeah. See, if they implemented that you can have that device sitting on your console, but also
that's how the Kinect works.
Yeah, have a headset that Kinect could like track your body into the movements.
Yeah,
but the headset controls the game itself.
Yeah, now see, the problem was with the Kinect, the tracking was utter garbage.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And sometimes it was okay, but other games, no, forget about it.
Indie games were pretty good on it because they didn't require much hardware. They didn't glitch out or
I remember
detect you.
I remember there was some kind of a game for the Kinect. I had an Xbox with the Kinect on it. And there was this game where you like used your arm as like a sword and you cut these things. And it was like a mini game built into some kind of like off-brand sports game, whatever. I ran in my room and got a Nerf sword and calibrated that as my right arm. And I thought I see no God up here other than me.
That's awesome.
But I cannot believe how well that worked. I just thought, my God. That's a big brain move.
At least they tried, You see they never brought it back, so they knew something was wrong with it.
Yeah.
Maybe they planned on releasing something like the PlayStation did, but just never went through
it. Who knows?
Like, this VR is like, it's so niche right now. Both out of doubt, like that's the future of gaming. Because why would I want to sit at a desktop when I can be in it? Why would I shoot players on a screen when I can shoot at them and look behind me and there's people coming behind me? That kind of thing.
Sure.
Can we talk about VR esports?
Is that a thing?
Well, I mean, I thought I've heard about it. Let me double check.
That's weird.
Do you think?
Yes, it is a game. Okay, it is a game. Okay, let me talk about this real quick. There is a there's two first-person shooter games. I know they use one of them. I don't know about the second one. If need be, I can do research on this and we can talk about it later, or we can go ahead and talk about it right now. I have like a pube hair worth of information.
Bring it to us then.
But okay, I'm putting it on the table.
It's your hand.
But anyway, I've heard about VR esports, and I thought, what in the mess? But there's a game called Onward. And I think it's both on Steam and the Oculus store. It's a first-person shooter, kind of not real mil-simi. Yeah. It's a more hardcore feeling first-person shooter, but it's still goofy, as all VR shooters are. But you get 2 teams of 5, kind of like a CS:GO deal, but they all stand on stage with VR sets and their controllers, and they play from their own little play spaces, and you watch them on stage play. It's just the strangest looking thing, because you've got 10 guys fiddling around with headsets on, playing a game.
Is it that game where it's like a little neighborhood, and you're these Russian looking soldiers going through the neighborhood?
Yeah, that's one map. It's like a small neighborhood.
I think I saw that
one of the maps. Yeah.
Stupid.
You have the syringe. If you get shot, you pull a syringe out and inject it into yourself.
It's so wonky, dude. I don't see how they're gonna.
Yeah, that's why I'm so shocked about the idea of VR esports, because right now, as you said, it's so wonky and buggy still. Like watching people play use VR competitively. Like, that doesn't sound like it'd be fun to watch as of right now. Maybe in 20 years when the technology is down to a T.
I just think it would be so. Yeah. I think it would just be so strange to watch, is my problem. Because it would feel like one of the, what do they call, the quiet discos, where you listen to your own music and dance.
Yeah.
It would just feel like what would happen if you went to a quiet disco and took your headset off and just watched everybody dance quietly.
Yeah, you got so many people.
It would be so weird.
Looking at someone stand there, they like trip over their own cord and stuff on stage.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be.
And I mean, like they've even started making accessories for pro league stuff. There's not a lot, but one popular thing I'm seeing is something called the Pro Tube, and it's for first-person shooters. I'm sure both of you have seen this before.
I've never heard of it. I may have seen it, but I've never heard of it.
I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm sure some of y'all had seen me play H3 before.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know how you can grab the fore end of the gun and you can grab the grip, but it's still wiggly because your hands are wiggly. They're not supported.
Are you talking about like an arm that you can hold on to?
It's literally just a tube. It is a tube with two holes and these holes are adjustable. It's just a tube that you put these mounts on. You put the controllers in the mounts, and I think it's like magnets that hold them in, so you can take them out and get something off your belt if you want to. But it's supposed to help you be super, super stable in first-person shooter games.
So basically, something you can make yourself that people are spinning arm and a leg on.
I don't think Pro Tubes are that expensive. Now, I've seen them where they even have rumble stocks. So, like, when you pull the trigger, there's a little rumble motor in the stock that simulates recoil. And I thought, good Lord.
I've seen this before. I've seen this.
Okay.
I was like, what is going on here?
But, kind of shifting just slightly from VR. Whatever happened to AR, artificial reality? Or augmented reality. Like,
now I know it as augmented.
Like 5 or 6 years ago, everyone was talking about how Apple or Google or whatever was going to come out with Google glasses so that you have like a heads-up display wherever you walk.
Google glasses.
And we've already patented like AR, what are they called? Contact lenses. So, like, I don't understand why we haven't seen anyone trying to move towards developing that kind of technology and perfecting it. Because the only type of AR I've ever seen that was popular was Pokemon Go. That was it.
They have a Minecraft
there was
game
that
does that now.
There was Pokemon Go. I have a personal experience with an AR. I had a Nintendo 3DS where it was supposed to be 3D. And it came with these cards, like
I remember the PS Vita had something like that.
And depending on which card you would put on the table, you would play a different augmented reality game.
Yeah,
it would scan the card, and one of them was like fishing, and there was one that was like your camera's like a helicopter, and you've got to shoot stuff, so you have to walk around the table. And stuff like that. It was all really, it was really neat.
Like, the only place you see it now is Snapchat. You put a little AR.
With dancing hot dog man.
I don't understand why.
Oh, that's old.
and Bitmojis. Well, they still have Bitmojis doing like Fortnite dances.
The hot dog man, though, man, like that's
the hot dog man.
But, like, having like something like the Google glasses would be amazing to have. It'd help people so much, whether it be. It'd be like kind of like having the Apple Watch, but you always have a heads-up display on your glasses. So
but then you'll have these people screaming, "Mark of the beast, mark of the beast."
Probably, honestly. Well, then you don't have to buy it if you don't want it. I, for one, want to buy it. Elon Musk ship me up. I don't care. That should be another topic. Put that down. Elon Musk's hyperlink. But
man.
Oh man, I'd have to do some serious research on that.
Doesn't Minecraft have one? To where when you hold up your phone, it starts turning trees into Minecraft-looking trees.
That's Minecraft Earth.
Cool.
Yeah. I thought I had that. It's sort of I haven't
really looked.
But like,
at
think of how practical AR could be with something like Google Glass, like a doctor who's constantly getting updates and see updates as they're coming on patients or whatever he needs to do. It'd just be so much. It'd be so helpful for productivity.
Yeah.
But no one's investing in it for some reason, which I think it would be very popular if something like that came.
Right.
Do you think training would ever go through VR? Because I know there's like business training right now, but like say a surgeon needed to practice at home how to, stitch a wound or something like
training that. Or if the tracking is super precise,
like Surgeon Simulator,
then I would say
that?
so. Like,
well,
I
universities
could see
are
that
doing
happening.
Like in medical schools, they're doing
Yeah.
they're doing stuff like that with VR.
They're playing Surgeon
Basically.
Simulator.
I thought that'd be
2013.
better to get practice, so they fail a lot less. And
Easton, did you say basically?
What?
Did you say? I said they're playing Surgeon Simulator 2013.
I said, yeah,
and you
basically,
said
they
basically.
are.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah,
ever
this is
seen
throw
Surgeon
the heart
Simulator
around the
2013? Yeah, where you can only control one hand.
Basically.
Yeah.
I know what I said. I stand by what I said.
Yeah.
I'll die on this hill. Yes, they're playing Surgeon Simulator 2017.
They need more practice, and they need to get back
But
on that game.
police stations, officers, they train
yeah, I saw
active
that.
shooter
I saw
drills with using VR.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I
They
think
train with response and draw times.
weren't
with
they the
that,
first
and
ones
that's
to
really
implement
neat.
that in training? So it'd
Well, I
be less
think like
dangerous and-
VR and like simulations like that started with fighter pilots. I think that's when they started experimenting with
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, because Boeing can do simulated
Yeah.
cockpits. That's how they train
And
commercial
the astronauts.
pilots now that fly like 737s and
What are
stuff
they,
like
G-force
that.
machines, those things that spin you around real fast
It's-
and make you pass out.
Centrifuges?
No,
I
they
don't know what they're called.
I mean, they
but
got that, but
Yeah,
not
that's what
like
it is.
for.
Well, like, this is literally a cockpit of a plane, okay, but it's closed up at the back, and there's like 20 hydraulic
wow.
arms on it. So whenever it pulls up, like, the hydraulics move in such a way to where the cockpit goes up and all this stuff, and it
Flight
simulates
simulator.
all the movements. Those have been around for a while, and that's how they help train commercial pilots for flying.
So
I don't know who makes those, but they're really neat.
to look back at the overarching question, are we close to Ready Player One? When you look at the jump from 2010 to 2020 in terms of how far we've come in terms of VR or AR, whatever, I'd say we're pretty close, and I don't think we're ready for it, honestly. I
don't think we're ready
like
for
we're
it
gonna
at
have
all.
this awesome technology, but we're gonna be wasting it on hentai simulators. I know I will.
Dude, I'd still
Hey.
pay.
Hey, kickstart.
I'd fucking pay.
But right now,
Let's
it's just
jump
like
on that right now.
that barrier of the cost that's holding everything back.
You talking about hentai simulator?
Lord.
We're gonna get that vampire chick in here. Shout out to my weeb friends if they know what I'm talking about. The redhead.
Can we get a weeb in
vampire.
here?
Oh
I want to
yeah.
interview a weeb.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Garrett,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
interview you real quick.
What do you mean interview me?
Because you're a weeb. He called you a weeb.
Oh, shut up. I'd be down for that though.
Get a
That'd
bunch
be
of weebs in
funny.
here. That'd be amazing.
Oh God, I probably have cancer.
But yeah, you guys let us know in the comments what you think. How close are we, and any other weird VR technology you might have stumbled upon out there? Let us know. We can expand on this topic.
But let's talk about the biggest. No, let's talk about
The biggest VR system.
the biggest VR system nobody's talking about is the world we live in. Guys, do you think that we are living in a simulation as people like Elon Musk believe, who's basically Tony Stark of our generation?
That dude has so
No,
much power.
we live in a
We live in a
society,
society.
dude.
But do you like? Would you believe that? Would you believe?
I don't know.
To an extent, I
see-
would. There's so many factors that come in play.
Well, see, here's the thing. I had trouble sleeping the other night, and I had fell into a YouTube rabbit hole, and I happened to stumble across reality glitches, and I kind of think those are interesting. But like, I saw one the other day, and it was very strange. Like, these people were driving down. It's kind of like how the roads in California are laid out. It's a 4-lane highway, but then they've got like flower beds in the middle with trees in them.
That's not supposed to be there.
Like, I mean, like where the median
Yeah.
is supposed to be. It's just like a small gap, and then they've got like grass with trees growing in it. Okay, it's kind of like styled like that. We don't usually see them around where we live, so it's
Yeah.
odd to us. But, like they were passing. The car was recording it, and they were passing trees and stuff, and then they passed one, and then a semi truck just pops out.
Yeah,
and you're just
I've
like,
seen videos
where did
like
that
that.
come from? I just like, you're like
Someone
where did that
moved
come
some
from?
script
Like,
over to another file. That's what happened. The aliens moved the
Yeah.
script.
Either that or somebody's playing Gmod and they just spawned.
Honestly, I watched a video on Twitter the other day. This little boy was walking with a few of these dogs. I don't know what country he was in, but it was like a little 2-3-year-old kid walking, and out of nowhere, to his left, a ball rolls like the camera angle is behind him as he's walking with these dogs, and suddenly a ball comes out of nowhere and just rolls to his left, and then the little kid walks like 3 more paces. And then he's confused. He turns around, sees the ball, and picks it up. Like, where did this come from?
What the hell?
I'll make sure to send the video. I'll try to put it in the YouTube version.
Okay.
Of this if I can.
Okay. I saw one that was really funny. It was a guy that said our cat went. He had a picture of 2 cats, and they looked really identical. They were black, and they had like a white patch on their chin that kind of ran down onto their belly. And it was really funny because he was like, I lost my cat a week ago, and then it showed back up at the house. But then a few days later, I found my cat. Now I have 2 of my old cats.
What?
Ooh.
Like, and he's got a picture of them sitting beside each other, and they look exactly the same. Either that is a serious glitch in reality, or that is some expert level Photoshop.
Have you got?
What about the Mandela effect?
That too.
I would have to dig.
Well, we're kind of
for
bridging or crossing lines here between simulation theory and alternate dimensions, but like same thing pretty much. Have you guys ever heard of the man from Torrid? Have you ever heard of it, Caleb?
Torrid. Remind me of
I'm
it.
gonna try to find the official story. Garrett, keep the conversation going.
I have the story. I remember the story, most of it. Okay. Just a synopsis of this. I don't remember what year this was. This was probably, like in the 80s, wasn't it? It wasn't, it was probably about 30 years ago or so. A guy flew into Japan in nice business clothes, was going for a meeting. He got put into airport security because of his passport, which stated that he was from a country called Torrid. And when he was interviewed by security officials, he was like, "Is this a fake passport?" He seemed really confused. He was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." But basically, this person was in there, and he was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I've been here before." And they said, "Well," and they were going to figure this out for sure. They went and got a map, and he was telling them, like, they were asking, "Where's Torrid? We don't know where that's at." And he said, "Oh, it's a country around like Spain or something like that." He was telling them where it was.
Like so between Spain and France.
Yeah, and they went and got a map and asked them, point to the country. And they said his face just went into pure shock when he couldn't find it. He said he was very concerned when his country was not on a map, and he thought it was a prank.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't know what in the hell was happening. So basically what happens is they took this guy, the man was given a map and asked to point out his country. He immediately pointed to the man occupied by the Principality of Andorra. Andorra is at the border of France and Spain. The man said his country has been in existence for 1,000 years and was a little puzzled why his country was called Andorra on the map. The man argued with customs officers for a long time and refused to give in. Let me see. Do they talk about... They don't talk about what happened afterwards.
They don't?
So, no. So the custom officers were a little bit confused. And I think... No. They were going to do an investigation with police.
And so they put him in a hotel.
They gave him a hotel room, and there were 2 guards standing at the door all night. The next day, when he didn't come out at the appointed time, they opened the door, and everything was gone. Everything was gone. And I don't remember what floor he was on. But he wasn't on the ground floor, so he just didn't get up and leave.
Yeah.
He just disappeared. Like, he was gone.
So this man went through dimensions into this Japanese airport.
He went into our reality and then left it. Yeah. It's a
so
very
weird,
intriguing event.
Can I add a dream I had once? That kind of sounds like this.
Sure.
All All right. I don't think it really goes with simulation. It's just how like reality fits into your dreams. Well, I was having a dream one night, right? I was it was like an old rundown like western town with it wasn't really western. It just had the neon signs, I don't know what time it was, but it looked like a western town. And I got into a couple gunfights and don't ask me why, but it happened. Okay, and
things went south.
I got shot and it felt like it was real through the whole time.
Ooh.
And it was one of those dreams that it feels so real that you wake up and you're doing what you were doing in your dream.
Yeah.
And I got shot and I was about to die and stuff like that. I woke up crying. It was crazy. Then the following week,
it's one of those dreams where like a frisbee's flying at your face and you just sit up
right
right in
like
bed.
But I woke up and a couple, Eric, right? We went to a camping trip.
It's one of our buddies from school.
Hardy's all, old town. The one straight
very
shot,
Ozark
right?
area, deep in the
When
Ozarks.
I got there, we were driving around 3 a.m, right? And in the neon signs, the neon signs that are through there, they were all on.
Yep.
Then as soon as my brain triggered something, is I had pictured I got shot right there in Hardy, and I was expecting it the whole time, and
that's weird.
My eyes were watering because I felt like I was about to die. Because my dream came back. Yeah, I haven't really told many people about that, but as soon as
I was about to say, why did you never tell us about this?
As soon as the topic came on, I remembered it. Because Eric was wondering why I was crying. I was like, dude, I don't know. Like,
I'm supposed to die here.
Yeah, I was like, I expected something bad to happen. Like
that.
I remember like it was yesterday.
That reminds me of something very strange. But I'm not going to get into it. We're not going to branch off here. That would go under the category of Unsolved Mysteries.
We have a lot of things planned.
Yes, that is a topic on our list, and I would love to get to Unsolved Mysteries because I have a lot to talk about, and that's one of my favorite subjects.
One more thing I want to add to kind of branching off of Caleb's story. My mother, whenever she was 19. She married my dad, and he was in the Air Force, and they moved to South Korea. They lived in Seoul for about a year. And whether you're religious or superstitious, whatever you want to do it, this is pretty weird. My mom was in Seoul one day. She was walking down the street, and all of a sudden, she felt something was off. And immediately, lightning struck 5 feet in front of her. And then when she got back to her apartment, her phone was ringing, and it was my grandma calling. My grandma was calling saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" My grandma woke up in the middle of the night, which was it's opposite side of the world, so it was the middle of the night for her. And she had a dream, or she didn't have a dream, but she felt something was wrong with my mom. She knew something wasn't right, and so she jumped out of bed and started crying and praying.
Yeah,
and then
I swear, it's real.
Started blowing up my mom's phone, and she said, "Almost get hit by lightning."
Yeah, see that stuff like that makes me think there's always something out there. Like there's something connected.
There's a sixth sense.
That ain't the
so
only dream.
God, simulation theory, whatever you think, things are weird.
Yeah.
Things are very weird. That is why I believe in the SCP Foundation. I believe they're real. I believe they're real.
Oh my God, dude.
There's so many uncontained anomalous entities.
Yeah, I've had so many dreams like that, dude, where I'd wake up like crying and stuff like that, or something bad happened in the dream. I'm always looking out.
I've had a dream similar to that, Caleb.
I don't know what it is. I guess mine's crazy.
I'm not going to get into too much detail because number one, I can't remember it, and number two, it's a lot of setup. Anyway, we were in some kind of like weird like abandoned building. We were exploring it, and we were just sitting. Me and another guy were sitting there, and it was like, this shit ain't haunted. This is fucking stupid. And I swear I could hear it while I was asleep too. It just sounded like a little girl whispering in my ear, and she's like, "Oh, it's not real." Dude.
Yeah, that ghost story topic.
I
got some stories.
And then when I woke up, it still felt like I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard that. I woke up in a cold sweat. It was terrifying.
Like, we better chill out before someone realizes we're onto them. We get killed tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein isn't allowed to kill us.
Hey, Hillary is.
Bro, he's already dead. Lol.
No, I shouldn't have said that.
All
But
right. Just real quick before we end this, I'd like to ask the audience out there, if you stayed with us this long, a big thank you and a shout out to y'all. But if you have anything you'd like us to talk about, throw it down there in the comments and
or
we'll
the
consider
Discord.
it.
Or the Discord.
Well. Yeah,
I have
the
my
Discord.
the Senate Chambers Discord will also be linked down below. We have just about 200 people in that server. We have a channel dedicated to the podcast. We just started the channel or server like a week ago. Mm-hmm. So still getting some people in there. And I'll make sure to put the link for that down below. You can join that, and we have a whole channel dedicated for you guys to ask us questions, or you want us to talk about a certain topic. We'll do some research on it and have a podcast about that said topic. So we're going to continue to do these just because we enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing this, and it just makes it more fun if you guys get involved and put things down that you'd want us to speak about.
I'd love to have audience interaction.
Yes, that would be.
I feel like there's a lot of things that we could cover and we just don't have on this list.
Then we can always make a list of them, list of the questions, just read off their names and then answer the questions for them.
And guys, we don't really care what the hell we talk about. We just like to hear our mouths move.
We're here to have a good time.
So, yeah, we're here for a good time, not a long time. All right.
I can do both.
To death. But anyways, you guys have any plugs? Anything else you want to plug?
I don't really plug myself, man.
You plugged my Twitch, even though I told you not to, but that's
you can
okay.
find Bovines or Garrett Bovine.
God damn it!
You can find find Twitch down below. Link in the description. He's gonna start streaming pretty soon.
Bastard. He'll
probably be streaming some H3, some Flight Simulator, whatever it is. He's fun to watch. Also, link my YouTube channel down below if you're interested in some R6 content.
It'll probably be this weekend. I've got to take a dog to the vet on Thursday.
All I gotta say is join the Discord.
Yeah, join the Discord.
Join the Discord. Join the Discord. Join the Discord.
I love talking to people, so.
Yeah, it's fun. Mm-hmm. Go in there, get your role. Caleb will assign you some role.
Get your ride.
And also, we plan on putting this on Spotify. The pilot is already on Spotify, or it should be. There's some other logistical things that's going to go into us uploading on Spotify. When it comes to we have to use a third-party service in order to put these on Spotify, and trying to find the right service for us to continue to upload it's going to take some time. But this episode should be up on Spotify. But as of right now, in the foreseeable future, YouTube will still be the best way for us to, or for you to get this content.
I agree.
So, anyways, thank you guys for sticking around to the end. We love you guys. Again, check out my YouTube, check out the Discord, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Later.
Johnny.